I am really fortunate to have a studio right next to my husband's studio. When we first moved to the Nest, we shared the studio. And so we were both fitting into a smaller space. When the space next to us became available, he moved over. It was a larger space. It's great having him next door and not sharing the same space because we both get our alone time, our creative time to work together, but we're close enough to kind of pop over and see what each other is doing. It is a really interesting thing to be married to somebody in exactly the same field, especially a creative field like this, because you don't have to explain things necessarily the way that you would if it was somebody not in the same field. If I was married to a banker or an attorney or a dentist, I could see myself having a lot more intense conversation at 3 a.m. when I need to get up and follow the muse about some sort of a design idea that I had. But because he's also an artist, I don't have to do that. We find that our working styles and our materials, our mediums, are not very compatible. So it's great having separate studios now. We always had separate studios before, and many, many, many years ago, when our daughter was really young, we had studios in a building in Westchester, New York. And it was a very small building. It was a converted schoolhouse. And the studios were great, but there was a lot of drama in the building all the time. There was a performing arts group in the building who were fine, although they ate all of our food at night when we weren't there. But there was always a lot of drama among the artists. And having had that experience and having realized how unpleasant that can be and how disruptive that can be to the creative process, when I took over as a manager here, I very intentionally made sure that that would never happen here. So we always joke that this is a drama-free zone. And of course, artists are passionate, and artists are very much people who follow their own drummer and they do their own thing and they're very opinionated, but there's no reason that that also can't be a very supportive place to be. And so that's a very intentional thing here, that we are all supportive of each other, that we do basically team building exercises where we work together and we collaborate in different types of projects, not necessarily the work, but the way we work together and coexist in the same building is meant to be a team experience, and it's meant very intentionally to be a community where we all support each other and advocate for each other.